Well, I hope you can figure out what my theme is today because it's going to be lit. Which, if you don't know what lit means, it's going to be amazing, awesome, beyond belief, the greatest thing ever. So stay tuned for it. Welcome back to another episode of Cooking with Jay Simkowitz. Today, I am making Canada Day. Well, no, actually, let me switch it up. I am making maple leaf sugar cookies. That is correct. Maple leaf sugar cookies. It is going to be lit as can be. So, usually what I do is I show you all the ingredients beforehand. Today, I'm not showing you the ingredients, okay? Well, I am showing you the ingredients, but I'm going to be adding it into my big KitchenAid mixer that I got right here. And as I put it in, you're going to see in the description below, well, you're going to see below a little thing, name that pops up of how much you need of each thing, so you can see as I mix it, because usually I just show you the ingredients and then I mix it, but today I wanted to try something different. So with this KitchenAid mixer that I have in front of me right here, okay, we are going to add our dry ingredients first. That's the first thing you need to mix because it's the simplest, it's the easiest, it's just what you need to do first. So if you don't have a KitchenAid mixer, you can use a whisk. You add all the dry ingredients and you whisk it together until it's fully blended. So the very first dry ingredient that we're going to put in here is our flour. You need 2 3/4 cups of flour. So I'm using gluten-free powder again, because the reason for this is that it's easier for people to enjoy it, like my mom who can't have regular flour. But you got to be careful dealing with gluten-free flour. Sometimes it doesn't want to come out of the package. Just gonna add a little bit more just to be sure. So there's your 2 cups. Now we're going to use a quarter cup to get your 3/4. Wow, I can't talk. My 3/4. Oi, oi, that's falling out. A little too much. 2 and 3. There's that. Okay, now it's time to add in our baking soda. Baking powder, my mistake, baking powder. Okay, for this you're going to need 3.5 teaspoons. 3.5 teaspoons of baking powder. Now, as I'm going to put it in, I'm going to mix it. So I'm going to put this on stir, so it just lightly stirs it up. So 1, 2, 3.5 teaspoon here. And there we go. Now it's just mixing our dry ingredients. So there we go. We have our nice, lovely dry ingredients mixed, as I will show you. See, it's all mixed up. That's how you want it to be. Now it's time to mix all our wet ingredients, and then we're going to add the dry ingredients after we've gotten all the wet. So the first thing you're going to need is a cup of butter. So 2 blocks of butter, okay, or half a butter, or 2 sticks. So we're using 2 blocks. So that's the first thing you're going to add into this mixer. Don't be afraid to get your hands full of butter. That's the fun part of everything, getting dirty. As I'm already getting dirty when I do this. Okay, there we go. We got our butter in there. Now we need 1.5 cups of sugar. So we got our sugar right here. I'm using a 1/4 cup to measure this out because then I can get it inside the jar. So we're going to need 6 of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's a lot of sugar, but it's worth it in the end. Promise, it's worth it in the end. Now we're going to mix this all together. We're going to lock this and we're going to put it on from, you got numbers. On a KitchenAid, there's numbers. So we're going to put it on a nice number 2. Now we're going to turn it back on and we're going to add the rest of the wet ingredients. So first thing is you need 1 egg. Just 1 egg. That's amazing. Okay. We're going to scrape it again, so that we make sure we get everything on this. And we are even going to scrape our mixing tool, because if we don't, then it all just clumps onto it. Okay. Now it's time to add the vanilla extract. The vanilla extract you need is a tablespoon. Wow, I can't talk again. That is totally wrong. A teaspoon of vanilla extract. Teaspoon. So as this is mixing, oh, doesn't want to fully go down, and I don't know why. Oh. Should be. Hold on. Wow, came off again, and I don't know why this keeps coming off. This shouldn't be coming off. That's simple. I don't know why. Keeps coming off. But now it's set, and now we're going to put a teaspoon of vanilla extract in here. I'm still confused why it keeps doing that, why it keeps falling off. I don't know why, but we're going to scrape it again for the final one, because right after this, we're adding our wet ingredients. So we want to make sure that all goes to plan. Okay, now it's time for our wet ingredients. So we're going to place this to a number 4 and we're going to add our wet ingredients. Slowly we just add it in there. You have to scrape the sides a lot. And I don't mean in a bad way. It just means that you just got to make sure that you're scraping it all, because you want to incorporate it all very well. You don't want like big clumps over on the side here. You don't want them over here. You don't want them in the back here. You really don't want them to be clumped. That's the worst thing you could do. I mean, literally the worst thing you could do. To have it all clumped together. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off. Just so I can get it all scraped off. And we're going to put that to the side. And we're going to move this back and we're going to remove this full. Because there we go. We got our nice, lovely dough. That looks amazing. It really does. It looks better than the cupcakes I made yesterday, to be very honest. It looks 10 times better. So we're going to get our cooking sheet. Boom! Here's our cooking sheet. Okay. Put that there. You're going to line it with parchment paper. Baking secret. Parchment paper is your best friend. Literally. It is your best friend when it comes to cooking. But it's not your best friend when you're ripping it off. It is not. Okay, so we got our perfectly good maple leaf there. I'm just going to place it on the sheet. I don't know if you can see that, but it's there, okay? Just trust me. Okay, we're going to do this again. So we're going to roll out our dough. Now it's sticking again, so you got to add a little more flour to the table. Add a little bit to the top. You can do that, or you can add it to the rolling pin. I'm just adding it to the top. Okay, we're going to try this again. I think it's because I didn't put anything on the cutter, literally. There we go. I'm going to get back to you once they are all out. As you can see right here, I got 10 cookies on a cookie sheet. That is great. So, 2, 4, 6. Oh, my mistake. I can't count. 8 cookies. My mistake. 8 cookies. So, what we're going to do is we're going to add this into the oven at 375 for 8 to 10 minutes until they're golden brown. My fellow cooking squad group, I have horrible news to tell you. And I mean, it is horrible. My cookies that were supposed to be looking like maple leaves didn't come out as maple leaves. This is what the cookies have come out to. Big, giant blobs. My fellow cooking squad, I told you just a minute ago that I royally screwed up the cookies. That I showed you that they were supposed to look like maple leaves, but they came out like big, giant blobs. But, cooking squad, I am a genius. I figured out how to make them back into the maple leaves from what they were as a big giant blob. So fellow cooking squad, what did I do? I literally punched them out. I punched them all out. They are all here. I punched them out with the cookie cutter as they were soft so that I could actually mold them how I wanted them. If I did them when they were hard, it would crack and brittle, well, like this one. It cracked and brittled. It cracked and now it's a mess. But these are great, except for this one. Had a little problem. Seemed like it got my finger in there or the glove or something. But other than that, they are great. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to decorate these with red royal icing. So here we go. We got our cookies. We have our royal icing here. that is melting like right through the bag because the tip is a little bit bigger than I anticipated it, but that's okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to outline it the best you can. Okay, because you want it really thin. I mean really thin. Okay, so we've outlined it and it doesn't look like our maple leaf yet, but it will. So now you're going to squeeze more of it into the bag, onto the cookie I mean. So that what happens is it can take the shape of the cookie. Okay, now one thing, when you're doing this, okay, it's going to look like a big, giant mess. So I'm going to get another plate so I can put the cookies on there so that they can dry before I transfer them into our container right here that we're going to use to transport them. Here's our other plate. Just going to use it to leave it there. This is going to be our decorating plate. So let's do this one. This is what you're going to do with all the cookies. So I will show you what they look like when they are all done. This is what they look like when they are done and they have hardened and they are perfectly great. Okay, I would try one, but unfortunately I don't have enough of them to go around because my mom is taking them to her class today, to her ECE class, because I wanted to give them something for Canada Day since we don't see them on Sunday. So this is the best time to do it. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching that video of me making maple leaf cookies, well, sugar cookies with royal icing, red royal icing. So if you enjoyed it, please hit that thumbs up button. Also, comment below if there's something you want me to do. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. It's right under the description, or actually under this video. You'll see it. It's a little red button that says subscribe. Please click on it. Also remember to share this with your friends, family, and all your social medias. And also remember, you guys are awesome. You guys are amazing. You are one of a kind. And thank you for being part of Cooking Squad. And the most important thing is keep calm and cook on.